Hello there. So what type of melee DPS will Reaper be in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker? I took a look at the gameplay reveal and a recent Famitsu article with Naoki Yoshida, the game's head producer, and I've got to say some elements of Reaper so far are reminding me of a certain class that I main. A certain class with an axe, and no, not botanist you mad lads, I'm of course talking about the warrior. Let's have a gander, shall we? So, let's look at some comments Yoshida made regarding the Reaper class itself. These segments will be translated from a Famitsu article, link in the description below, where Yoshida gives us a bit more information regarding the new unveiled melee class, Reaper. First and foremost, let me know in the comments below what type of melee DPS Reaper will be. Will it be like Samurai, a non-raid buffing and huge damage dealing class? Or will it offer an edgy and dynamic set of raid buffs to support the party? Let me know what you think below. Yoshida kept the answer to this a secret, with a reveal being planned for the media tour, but at the very least it has internally been decided as to which type of melee this class will be, so keep an eye out. We can gain some insight into how Reaper will play at a base level, with Yoshida stating that, and I'm paraphrasing here, attacking raises a gauge throughout the fight, and once that gauge reaches capacity, you can unleash some type of badass ability. I assume the conclusion to this gauge is going to show you all of the lovely damage numbers and buffs, but we'll have to see how similar this is to current systems in the game, such as Warrior's guaranteed direct hit side effect of inner release. You know, it does kind of remind me of the overheat system from Machinist and the inner release windows for Warrior, so whether or not Reaper will have some type of fell cleave or a one button spam once the gauge is filled up remains to be seen, but we have certainly seen a trend of one button spam abilities with the cooldown windows before, which is currently trending with most of the tank classes currently in the game. Despite there being an eggy-like avatar behind the Reaper in the gameplay reveal, it's important to note that this is not a pet class, which is also something Yoshida wanted to clarify in this interview. In fact, it sounds like pet classes is something the team wants to phase out over time, at least that's the interpretation I took from this, so summoners keep an eye out. It is stated that the avatar will fuse with the player, which you can also see in the Reaper gameplay reveal. It's said to take into consideration each race potentially having a unique appearance on that race, which would be absolutely awesome to see. You can see a little bit of this, which I'm going to assume is work in progress, where the player's eyes turn into a different colour. So maybe the finalised version of this will be a glow or something more sinister. The fusing of the avatar appears to unlock additional abilities, and it looks like the fusion comes in at the end of the avatar's cooldown period. But whether this has manual control or not would be an interesting detail to consider, especially if you can manipulate the timing of it for future raid fights to align with raid buffs. But I would guess that the main buffing abilities will have some type of alignment with popular raid buffs anyway, such as Litany, Trick Attack and so on, just to keep it straightforward and simpler as we move into Endwalker. Now, I mentioned earlier about Reaper potentially being the warrior of DPS in relation to its gauge spender, but when we look at a specific section of the gameplay reveal, you can actually see that after the Reaper fuses with its avatar, it does the same set of animations 3 times, almost as though this is the Reaper's version of a fell cleave. Will this follow the trend of one button spam windows for DPS? I wonder. Let's take a look at the gameplay actually of Reaper so you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so we got the Reaper video, it's only 1 minute long, so we'll be good. So yeah, got the introduction with the avatar, which is not a pet by the way. And then you look at the eyes of the character. They're normal eyes at the moment, but you'll see that there's they start to glow later on. Also, really love the effects. Kind of reminds me of Ichigo's Bankai from Bleach, I'm not sure why. It's got that sort of graphic feel to it. Nice aqua blue and then red black. So we've got some normal combo builders here, what it looks like. And then we got the summon of the avatar. Summon is giving some damage and then he fuses with it. So there's the fusion, look at the eyes, pink. And now look, 1, 2, 3. 3 abilities in a row. Now those could be the fell cleave spenders, is what I'm talking about. So yeah, it would certainly make a lot of sense for it to, I guess, be a fell cleave spender. I keep calling it fell cleave spender. I'm just stuck on warrior. It's my main. So certainly the game wants to be simple. It's been made more simple over time with easier rotations and whatnot, so it wouldn't surprise me if that is 3 abilities you use in a window of your avatar fusion, which then you have to use up all your damage, have a certain skill speed and so on, much like we've seen with pretty much most of the tank classes, right? So that's what I meant by that. Other than that, overall looks pretty cool. Really looking forward to seeing more, but yeah. Well, I know I am certainly excited for the media tour in the near future, where we'll get to see specific tooltips and how all of these abilities tie into one another. But what about you? Let me know what you're most excited for regarding Endwalker. Maybe Male Vieira, the new classes. Let me know in the comments below. For now, I am out.